Hey, this is Abe.
And this is Alexa.
Welcome back to the Get Out and Enjoy Life podcast, or GOEL.
Today we're giving you a little bit of a weekly update.
Yeah, so this week we've done quite a bit actually.
Yeah, we've been busy for sure.
One of the things is you took me to an R&B concert.
Not a concert.
Oh, not a concert, excuse me, a DJ.
It was like an
dance.
They called it like an R&B dance party is what they called it.
Yes. It was like a string of DJs, right? That kind of rotated out.
Yeah, rotating DJs. It was at McMiniman's in the Spanish Ballroom, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think we've passed through there before. If you've never been to McMiniman's, you're in like the Tacoma area. It's huge. It has like a hotel. It has several different bars with different themes.
There's a speakeasy
There's
that's
a hidden speakeasy that's pretty cool. We've never been able to get into it because it only seats like 20 people or something like that. But they have concerts there from time to time, and I love to look at events online. And so I just happened to see they were doing an R&B dance party. I love R&B music. That's my favorite. Abe has kind of gotten into it too with dating
it's
me.
It's grown on me.
Because had you ever listened to R&B music prior to me?
Probably not a lot. I listened to more like pop.
Yeah.
And
just like top 40 hits.
To R&B and rap now. And
Yeah. So we went to that. You could get drinks. You could get mocktails if you wanted. You could just drink water. I mean, there's even like some restaurants in there. So, I mean, literally, if you want a bar hop, you could just stay in that one building.
Yeah, the kind of interesting thing was that they had, the way it was set up is the bar was at the back. Well, to get in first, you had to go through a metal detector, which I didn't totally get because, like, you could go bar hopping throughout the entire thing, and like this one little ballroom had the metal detector.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was just for like events that they have there or what it was because we've never seen it before.
And then they had like all their sound system and everything set up like almost in the middle of the ballroom. You remember that?
Yeah.
And so it
cut out some of the space.
Yeah, it cut out quite a large portion of the space.
Yeah.
But the music was great and people were dancing. It took a little bit to get people dancing. We really stayed on the side most of the time, and then
danced
and then you
a
dragged me onto the dance floor.
Yes, I love to dance.
Yes.
So I was already dancing, sitting on the side, drinking my drink.
And then you're like, we need to get out there.
Yeah. Because they were playing like 90s R&B, early 2000s. I really love like early 2000s R&B. So everybody slowly, like as they were like kind of feeling out the crowd, the DJs, I feel like they could sense kind of what era of R&B people were really interested in. And then they also had like a 360 like video camera. I don't know. It's not a photo booth, but it's like
I still don't totally understand them because they must upload to, I guess.
It's either like a site that people can go and get their like videos of, but basically people would stand in the middle. It was off to the side from the DJs. And a camera rotates around.
And it was an iPhone camera too.
Yeah, if you've ever seen like,
or an
the only other time I've seen it is like a Vanity Fair or like a Vogue party where I watch it on like YouTube, and like celebrities will stand in the center and then they'll dance or like move, and the video kind of goes around them, so you have like this kind of cool 360 video.
Yeah, but it was good, and I'm really like kind of particular about my ears and stuff, like. I like always want to protect my ears, and I forgot my earplugs or couldn't find them, and I was like, oh man, and
well, they're not regular earbuds. Why don't you explain?
Earplugs
or earplugs.
No, normally I wear my own regular earplugs.
Right, but you have special ones, right?
Now I do.
Now you do.
Now I bought some, so I ended up buying some, and I got to use them like a day ago, and they worked out great.
Yeah.
But so we did that R&B DJ mixer.
It was really fun.
Which was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And what else did we do recently?
Well, we went to something called Keys on Main.
Yeah.
That's another kind of nightlife type thing that we did. It's basically a couple of like entertainers. They can play piano really well. And basically what you do is you can request any kind of song from within the last 65 years.
Yeah.
And they play it. And they'll sing, and they'll like...
To back up a little bit, to get into this place, it's like $10 a head to get in.
Actually, Thursdays are free.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's $10 a head when we went.
Yeah,
and
Fridays
then,
and Saturdays.
We got a seat really close up, like
front row
seat, yeah, with a table.
Yeah.
And waitress comes over, asked us if we wanted anything to drink, but we were like, oh, do you have any like appetizers, food, anything like that? They didn't have anything.
Yeah.
But they allowed us to bring in food.
Yeah, so Abram ran and got a pizza,
yeah,
not too far away.
I think it's called
a pizza.
A pizza.
A pizza.
A pizza. It's the name
We've
of a
been
restaurant.
there before. It was really good.
Yeah, it's really good. So I went and got pizza over there, and while I was getting that, they're asking me kind of questions of like, oh, what are you doing, type of thing, and I was like, oh, I'm over at this Keys on Main place, and they're like, yeah, the staff over there has actually been ordering food from us, which was kind of funny. But yeah, we got back, and yeah, it was amazing. Yeah, so
it was really cool.
Like you said, it was like dueling pianos.
Yeah.
They're electronic pianos. They look like kind of like baby grand pianos, but they actually have an electronic keyboard in them. And it's 3 guys that rotate through them. So there's always one that's kind of resting, ready to replace the next one.
Yeah.
And they do it for like 4 hours, from like 9 to 1:30 at night, or in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, and because we were so close, I think we got more of a view of kind of like how it worked, because these guys, I think they know the music definitely.
Yeah.
But like they'll look up on Google like lyrics, and then it'll have like chords in them.
Yep.
In the music, it's just like a quick Google search type of thing.
Yeah, there's a little keyboard and little,
It's like an
screen.
Apple computer built into it or something like that. It's got to be like built for this.
I mean, because how could you know all this music from like the last 65 years?
Yeah, it's crazy. They did so good. One guy was rapping.
Yeah, they were.
Like,
when I tell you no song basically was off limits, I mean, they did slow ballads, which they kind of discourage people from doing because they want to bring up the energy in the room.
And it's interesting how they discouraged it. It'd be like, they paid, someone paid, they'd say how much people paid for it.
Yeah, you always had to pay to do the request.
So it's like...
And they rank it. So if you pay the most money, then they'll play your song first.
And so if you got like a slow song, they're like, oh, someone paid $25 for this song. If you pay $26, we'll, cut off the song or whatever.
Yeah, and I don't think you saw this because you were getting the pizza, but right when they started, they were like, okay, if you want that to happen, you need to slap down the amount of money so we know that it's, more, basically you've put down more money to stop this song halfway through and start a new song.
Yeah, and so that happened a couple of times.
Yeah.
One guy put $100 up there for a song.
And asked his three friends he was with on his birthday to go up there and dance. Yeah,
which was because back of this, little rewind is they pulled him up there. They paid like $40 or $50 to get him pulled up there. And so, it was all good fun. And we sat really close where I had my ear plugs, which like have special holes in them so you can still hear, but it was pretty loud. Yeah, I know.
My ears were totally like muffled sound. I was like, we were
I had extra earplugs. I'm like, here, you want some?
I didn't think about it. And like the people on stage, they don't have they're right by the speaker and they, don't have any earplugs in.
Yeah.
But I'm like, my ears are totally muffled. But I really enjoyed myself. It was so fun. Like I loved that they did like rap music. Like they were rapping and playing that piano and it flowed like they were doing like 50 Cent Candy Shop, like Look at Me Now, like it was just like crazy and like fast rap, like fast rapping.
And
I was amazed.
And every once in a while, this one guy would make a comment like, "Oh yeah, this song was built for the piano."
Yeah,
and like obviously it wasn't, but they made it work.
Some of them were really challenging. I mean, they even were doing like boy band music, like NSYNC, Backstreet Boys,
Maroon 5.
Maroon 5. They even did like
Number 5. I always say that. I don't know why.
They did like All American Rejects and stuff. Like it was
country,
just Paramore, like anything. So it was really cool. I definitely want to go again and sit in the back.
I don't know pop culture whatsoever. If you haven't picked up on that already. So like I know songs, but I don't know who they're by, or I don't know what it is. I just don't have like a super big interest in it. But I love listening to music,
and it was fun to see the crowd that was there. Like at the beginning, also I don't think you were there, but they were like, "Do we have any birthdays in the house?"
Oh, yeah.
And then people would like yell, and then they're like, do we have any like marriages? And then this one group was like, we got a divorcee, like, and all the girls were there, like, because she just got divorced.
They were putting down a lot of money too.
They put down
like
a lot
$50
of money
a
at a
song.
time. Like they kept coming up and like they were dancing and like loved every song. One group really loved rap music, so they would put up a lot of money to hear like rap songs. And then, it was just people dancing. They even had a VIP section of people dancing. Like, it was just a lot of fun. Yeah. It was just so much fun.
It was so cool.
Yeah.
We stayed till like 11:30, I think.
Yeah,
from 9 to 11:30. It was a lot of fun. I'd definitely do it again. I'd probably sit farther back, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but,
me too.
and then today we went and did the wedding expo.
Yeah, we went to a wedding expo up in Seattle, which was really cool because a couple of things that we don't have is like a photographer and a DJ, for example, and we're still looking at like invitations. So we were able to scout out those different things, which was good. Yeah. So I'm happy, and I got like a bag, and I got everybody's cards so I can look them up a lot later.
The bag was from this guy that did like floral like paintings, which I've never heard of. Yeah, it was kind of interesting.
He basically like paints wedding bouquets.
Yeah.
And also, he had some paintings of, like, couples, like when they come out of a church or when they come out of, like, whatever venue they're at.
Kind of cool. That's definitely a niche thing.
I've actually seen it more and more online.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that people do, like, a custom painting while they're, like, at the reception, for example.
Interesting.
I don't know where that came from, but, like, obviously it's a business.
Paint fast, I would feel like, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know.
This wedding conference venue thing was or expo, excuse me, was right like where was it at? It was in the Seattle Center. Right
near where the Nutcracker.
It was really crowded in there. That was the only thing. Like they had a lot of vendors
crowded.
And it wasn't well organized. Like we went with your mom, and she had made the comment of like maybe having all the photographers in one area because then you could see the differences in them. And that's a great idea.
That is a good idea because everybody was so spread out, and you didn't know where things were. And I mean, there's a lot of good information and a lot of good vendors there, but it's just like
it wasn't organized well.
For me, it was overwhelming because it's like people standing there looking at you, smiling, like here's my card, and then like they're selling like things for your home there, like gutters.
Weird. Like they were selling gutters, or what is it? The like thing to keep the leaves out of the gutter. Yeah. I was like, what? Come on, we're trying to pay for a wedding here.
They're selling also like Smith's Brothers milk subscriptions.
Yeah, and then there was like, I think it was a realtor. They're like, buy a house type of thing. I'm like,
we're like, no, because we're paying for a wedding.
Yeah. It's like, oh my gosh. So maybe they're just trying to like get a foot in the door with the couples, but I don't know. I can't blame them, but like it's not probably the place to do it. So I was surprised that the wedding expo place let them in. Like the gutter thing was just off the wall.
I don't know. And they literally had like shingles like to make up like a pretend part of like the roof of a house, and then it had water, and it was nice and cool over there.
It was cool. Yeah, it was nice.
Didn't make sense.
No,
honestly.
It didn't make any sense.
And then they had like the porta potty place.
Oh yeah.
And they had like a fake wedding cake that had toilet paper as like the cake. It was. Yeah.
I'm like, we're doing more of a kind of like, I want to say a budget wedding, but it's not even really budget wedding. We're like.
I mean, when I've told people about our wedding, they're like, "Wow, you're getting like all of that for like what you're going to spend." I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, I think we are."
Yeah, but still,
doing it
like,
almost in a way.
I can't believe people are like renting porta potties. Like, I feel like that's on the venue, but regardless.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it depends.
Like if you're having 200 people or whatever,
or if you're out at like some random place that just doesn't have those. I mean, even like some of the venues I had looked at, like. You have to rent tables and chairs. Like, they don't have them.
So,
like, maybe you do need to rent a porta potty.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
What else was there?
I mean, we got lucky with ours.
The other thing was the DJs. Like, the DJs were all spread out, obviously. But, like, only one DJ, like, kind of had his equipment set up.
Music.
And everything. And then the rest of the DJs were just standing there. I'm like, I don't know. It's an expo, right? It's a wedding expo.
Like,
you're supposed to be showing.
Show what you got. Yeah, if you want business.
I don't know.
So, so
we found this one really good. I really like this photographer.
Yeah, I think the photos.
She had like books, the whole thing, like pricing on all of it.
Priced, which was very nice because photographers can get super expensive. She even has like a photo booth offering.
Yeah.
I mean, like I was like, that
Like
sounds
everything.
great.
And there are a couple like photo like booths there.
Yeah.
Which we did one, and I don't know, it wasn't great. Like
Yeah, I
I know
thought it
it's a
was gonna be
photo booth,
better.
but it was it was way too like bright. First of all, so it like whited out everything, and yeah, like
it wasn't like it looked very promising, but probably look into that a bit more.
Or we'll just go with the photo booth with what we have.
Yeah.
One of the things we talked about like was doing a videographer, but they're like really pricey. So we'll have to see. And then the other thing was we were looking at, what is it called? Murray's dance.
Oh, Arthur Murray.
Arthur Murray. We've kind of been looking at doing dance lessons. Dance lessons are really expensive. Didn't realize how expensive they were. Like to have a choreographed dance.
Yeah.
Like for us, for 10 lessons, it would be almost about $2,000.
Which I thought was so crazy.
That's nuts.
I'm like, wait, what?
I'm like, no.
Excuse me.
We can go to the free dance lessons and then do like the bachata.
A bachata.
Bachata. Sorry.
I mean,
we're gonna go do that on Tuesday.
Yeah, we're gonna try to learn the bachata. There's like these drop-in classes that we can do. I mean, for a much smaller fee than like some of these.
Yeah, it's like what, $10?
I think it's like $20.
$20 a person.
Which isn't awful. I mean, they're teaching you how to do like this very formal, dance style. So, just for fun. Abe mentioned that he wants to do more of a formal type dance or try it maybe. We're gonna see.
Or if not, we just get out and dance for fun, like I don't know, it's something fun to do on the weekends or the weeks.
Date night.
Yeah, it's not on the weekends. Tuesdays.
It's like
Tuesdays and Thursdays.
It's like weekdays.
Unfortunately,
Yeah, which can be hard when you're working, but like it's later on in the day, so like totally doable, and it's not far. So
no. So we'll see how it goes. We'll give you guys an update when we do it. Hopefully we do it and it doesn't fall through and we don't chicken out on it. Trying to think what else was there. They had some food and stuff. There's supposed to be more samples, I thought, too.
You know what? I think there probably were more samples if we would have come earlier.
We're only like 2 hours late.
Yeah, I mean, you would think they would have stuff available like kind of throughout the whole thing. I mean, it went till 5 o'clock.
Yeah, so we got there at like 2.
Yeah, we got there at 2.
Yeah. So.
Which is fine, yeah. It started at 12:30. We got one sample, which was like a little pumpkin pie.
Yeah, and that was really good. It was like this big.
But. Yeah, and then they had like wedding dresses there. They had like suits there.
Oh, they had the stationery.
Oh yeah, we got to see this cool stationery to get some ideas for what we might do with ours.
And they had seals on it, which was not
we love the seals,
animal,
like a little stamp seal, you know.
With the candle wax and the...
Yeah, we really like that element for some reason.
I really like that.
I liked it too. Yeah. I was like, oh, that looks just so professional, like the final
You break
touch.
The seal.
Yeah, I loved it. So, because we have to do a save the date, and then we have to do like the actual invitation with so people can RSVP. So...
we'll just send a text out to everyone.
I don't want to send a text. I want something like really nice. It's a once in a lifetime thing. So
yeah. So I think that's pretty much it. Everything we've been doing in the last.
Oh, one more thing we didn't share. We actually went to go see an IMAX documentary at the Pacific Science Center. It's been really gloomy here in Washington, especially with the daylight savings time change. It's just getting darker much earlier. Like it's dark by 4 o'clock.
Yeah, daylight savings, man. They need to get rid of that.
Yeah.
Why?
And so, there was one day where we were just like, what are we going to do today? Like, what's there to do that's fun? Like, we didn't have any set plans. So, we ended up driving up to Seattle. We saw this documentary from NASA about...
J.W. Webb.
Yeah, the telescope that's like kind of...
That's, I think it's at L2 point in space where it kind of like...
It's searching for basically the beginnings of like the universe.
I'm sure you've heard of it. Yeah, it looks back billions of years to see if they can see the first light that was created by the universe.
Yeah.
Or by the universe. Yeah, and from the Big Bang.
Yeah.
So it was really cool. It was like 40 minutes long. Yeah. It was kind of interesting. You had to walk down this ramp that it was almost like it was in the basement type thing. And we went over to go get some coffee, as like, I was really wanting some coffee. We get up there and there's coffee, and she's like, the hostess or the server. I'm like, oh, you got any coffee? She's like, no. I'm like, what? And I was like super disappointed. And she looked like so distraught over it. I'm
I know. I was like,
oh
hey,
man.
leave her alone.
It's like, okay, I'll get some tea.
She looked so stressed.
I know.
And then we had before the movie even started, there was a lady, because, you know, it's fun if people watch.
Yeah.
And so there was a lady who was like a couple rows, was she a row down
Well, here
from
we
us?
back up a little bit.
Oh.
While we were at the concessions area, remember
yes.
there is this, I mean, it's good that they card everyone.
Yes.
I'm not getting on that, but it was kind of funny just because this guy wanted to buy alcohol, or his wife was trying to buy him alcohol, and he was like standing over, wasn't in the line or whatever. And the same lady that had checked us out was like, oh, I got to see the card for him.
Like your
and
ID.
She's like, yeah, his ID. And I mean, the lady
They're
that's ordering it,
grandparents.
they had gray hair.
Yeah, they were grandparents for sure.
And she's like, what? And she's like, yeah, I got to see his ID. So she's like, hey, come over here. And he's like, what? What do you want? And it's like, she's got to see your ID. He's like, I'm 70 years old. You got to see my ID.
Yep.
And like, so yeah, he did it. He showed the ID and then he got his alcohol drink. But yeah, so going back to your story of when we actually got in the theater.
Yeah,
that's right.
We just thought it was really funny. It's random. There was a lady who was sitting and she had her mask on and everything. She was kind of sitting away from everybody watching the film. She was there by herself. And then it was funny because one family came in and they sat right next to her.
Yeah.
So then she like up and she moved somewhere else.
They literally sat in the seat next to her.
Yeah. And
interesting.
then she's like, and then another couple sat next to her and she was kind of
Like,
squished in between them and her like, oh no. And then she got up and she left. She went to another place and here comes this family of like 7 people and they sit right next to her and she like
went on the
moves
full
again.
other side
She
of the
moves
theater.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt so
Like,
bad for her.
oh,
She was
man.
like trying to run away
Yeah.
from people. I'm like,
And then when the person comes in to talk about the movie that we're going to see before it starts, she's like, and if you feel the need to jump up on the seats, please do not do so.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, this must be a really good movie if you got to jump up on the seats. No, but she's talking about
Yeah.
all the kids.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was really good.
It was really cool.
It wasn't the thing was that it was like a really big screen, like from floor to ceiling, like even more so probably.
Yeah,
It
it's
probably went
huge.
below the floor a little bit. It looked like.
Yeah.
But it didn't wrap around like
Yeah.
a traditional IMAX. I would think.
Yeah, I actually remember that theater being very different. I actually saw the movie Gravity in an IMAX theater, which was awesome. But yeah, it felt smaller
Yeah,
than usual,
with the
even though it was
screen.
like a massive
It was a
screen. But
huge screen.
I expected it kind of to wrap around.
Yeah.
So
Which maybe it's because now we like
we
our
were
idea.
older and like
Well, that, but also like not that we've been to it, but like we think of these IMAXs like this, but what's the Sphere in Vegas? Like,
Oh,
how
yeah,
could you
that
even
looks
like? That's what I like
amazing.
think of the pinnacle now.
oh my
But,
god, I
like,
want to go there so bad.
Yeah.
Like I'm like that would be amazing to
so
see a
cool.
concert there.
Yeah, concert or anything. They do like
Or
almost like
anything.
documentary things
Anything.
there too. But,
Yeah.
Yeah. So went and did that, and then as we were able to get into the museum. I don't know if it was like
We
a
just
free
walked in.
day or something. They
We just
weren't
walked in.
like there was no like person to check tickets or anything. It was kind of
Nope,
interesting.
we just walked in.
Yeah, we just walked in. Like we bought a ticket for the movie, and the movie's connected to the museum. So
Yeah.
I don't
so
know.
we went to the butterfly room.
Yeah,
if you're
which was
familiar.
really cool. And yeah, if you don't know what the butterfly room is, it's they have like a little anti-room in between, so you don't let the butterflies out. And then they have a whole bunch of different types of butterflies flying around in there.
They just fly around. They're eating fruit.
Yeah.
They're landing on your head, like
Yep.
all kinds of things. And it's really humid and warm in there, which is really nice.
Yeah, and there was one butterfly in there that was quite disturbing me. I like bugs.
Wait, which one?
The one that didn't have a mouth. Remember?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
But that was a moth.
Oh, was
Wasn't
it a
that
moth? Okay. Yeah. They had a butterfly in a
Yeah.
specific enclosure, like it was like almost like a little cage enclosure, and we asked about like why is it in here? And they're like because it's super invasive. If it were to get out, it'd be horrible, and so it's in a closure inside the room. Which
And they
is,
said basically that's why they have those rooms on the
Yeah.
outside.
oh yeah, that too.
So
yeah.
that it wouldn't get out into
Yeah.
like the world.
But this moth is when it I guess gets out of its chrysalis, whichever, it doesn't have a mouth.
No.
So like I'm like, oh man, that's crazy.
Yeah, what?
So
it just reproduce, like,
yeah, it
it's
reproduces.
just there
Like
for
it's living off of
reproduction.
what it ate as a caterpillar, and then
That's so crazy.
you don't have a mouth when you come out.
Was its body really big? I
I
couldn't
don't.
see.
I think it's
Was
pretty
it in
big.
there?
Yeah, it was in there. We remember we sat at the bottom. You know what it makes me think of is like that X-Men movie where they have who's the guy that plays I can't think of his name. I can't think of the name anymore. It's Deadpool. Who plays
That's
Deadpool?
not X-Men.
No, just go with me.
Ryan
Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Yes.
So remember I forget which X-Men movie it was, but one of the X-Men movies, they I think it's a Wolverine movie actually, and like Wolverine Origins, one of the first ones, and he comes out with this guy that has swords coming out of his arms, and he can shoot. He has Cyclops' vision, and they're on the dam, and he doesn't have a mouth, and they're like, "Yeah, we got rid of his mouth because he kept talking so much."
Oh my
I'm like,
gosh.
which is Ryan Reynolds' character. If
Oh,
you
I
look
don't
back,
even remember this.
Anyway,
I'd have to rewatch it.
Ryan Reynolds played
I'm sure
it.
if I saw it,
if
I
you
would
look
know.
back, I think if I remember correctly, if you look back in the like kind of like how they talked about making this movie and everything, that was like supposed to be Deadpool. But it was like a failed Deadpool version.
Oh,
and
I probably
and
have seen
so
this. Yeah.
it's just like a little like inkling of a Deadpool thing in this X-Men movie. But then Deadpool got his own movie. But anyway, that's what made me think of with him not having a mouth on this moth. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah.
So that's a big offshoot.
Yeah. But it was really cool to see them flying around. I liked them eating fruit. I liked watching the butterflies eating.
And then a butterfly landed on one, like this child's head.
And she just was walking around, and it just was stuck there.
Like I don't know if it was stuck in her hair or what, but
yeah,
yeah,
it was super cool.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much what we've been up to for this week and the last week or two. I know we haven't posted in about 2 weeks, so. We're going to get better about posting and get back on track. But thank you again for joining Get Out and Enjoy Life podcast or GOEL.
We hope you get out and enjoy life in whatever way that means to you. Whether that's going to see an IMAX movie, maybe it's going out to see friends, traveling, whatever that means to you, we hope you get out and enjoy life.
Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye.
Bye.